Hi, in this video, you're finally going to learn more about methods and how to use them in your programs. Up to this point, you have seen that methods can describe the behaviors or actions that are associated with the class and their object creations. You've written most of your code in the main method, which acts as the conductor of your entire Java program. You've also worked with some of the methods in the string class, which interact with the string objects that you create. These methods were written by someone else and packaged into the string class for easy access and use. And most recently, you've learned about Java docs as a formal way of documenting what a method is doing. In this lesson, you are finally going to take a closer look at what a method is, how it is used in programs, and how to create a custom one yourself. You'll start by working with methods in the main class, and then look at and use methods coming from other custom classes. Okay, so what actually are methods in a program? Well, methods are name blocks of code that run when they are called. A block of code is any section of code that is enclosed in curly braces. Once written, programmers only really need to know what the method does and not necessarily how it does it in order to call it and use it. Using methods within your programs allows you to organize your code and break down complex problems into smaller, reusable pieces of code, which is a fundamental technique that you'll explore throughout the course. Let's start by looking at the different parts of a method's definition. A method definition has three main parts. The first part is the documentation with comments. The comments should describe what the method does, identifying purpose, inputs, and outputs. This can be something formal, like Java docs, which is useful if you are working professionally and know you will be wanting API documentation, or something less formal, like a single or multi-line comment that describes the method with its inputs and outputs. The next part of the method definition begins the actual code. This is the method signature. The method signature contains the name of the method, along with any inputs and outputs of the method. You'll look at these details in a moment. The final part of the method definition is the actual code block, which is defined by a set of curly braces. This is the action that is performed every time the method is called. Let's now take a deeper look at the method signature using this add numbers example. The method signature, along with the preceding comments, provides the programmer and compiler with important information. The signature has several key pieces to it. Perhaps the most important part of the method signature is the method name. The method name is found in the middle of the signature and should follow the same naming convention as variable names. After the method name, inside the parentheses, is the parameter list. A parameter is a variable that is declared in the signature and can be used inside the body of the method. This allows values to be passed in from the outside and used by the method. If a method doesn't take any parameters, you just include empty parentheses. If the parameters are the inputs to the method, the return type is the output of the method. If a return type is specified, like the int here, then a return statement must be present inside the method's code block. The return statement must return a value that is the same type as the return type here. If you don't want the method to return a value, then the return type is set as void. This means the method won't be used as part of an expression when it is called. Finally, the method signature starts with the visibility statement. In most cases, methods are either public or private. You will see more details about this later, but for now, all the methods that you encounter will be public. This means they can be used outside of the class where they are declared. One quick side note, most of the methods that you have seen so far in this course also include the keyword static. A static declaration makes the method a class method and allows you to use the method without creating a separate object. You will also learn more about this in upcoming lessons. The method signature, what you've just created, is an essential piece in defining a method. The signature, in combination with the method's code, determines what a method will do. Its code, however, will not execute until it is called. One of the great things about methods is that you only need to write the code to define them once. Then you can call them as many times as you need. Calling a method means running the method, causing it to perform its defined task. This is done with the method's name and any required inputs. When a method is called, the code block within the method is executed. Then the program returns to the point where the method was called. Calling a method is pretty simple. You just use the method name and pass a list of values to the method. These values must match the parameter list in the method definition. The 3 and 4 values in this example are called arguments. An argument is a value that is passed into a method's parameter when the method is called. The arguments passed to a method must be compatible in type and order with the parameter list of the method's signature. In this case, the parameters of the add numbers method have 2 int types, so the 3 and 4 are compatible. These values are passed using what is called call by value. Call by value initializes the parameters with copies of the arguments, so any change to the parameters in the method will not impact the original arguments. Since this method has a return value, in this case the sum of the a and b variables, the return value will be sent to the original call statement. where it essentially replaces the call statement, allowing its value to be stored in the sum variable. Since you are calling a non-void method with a return statement, you must capture the value in a variable, like shown here, or use the value in an expression. For example, this code calls the addNumbers method within a print statement. Instead of storing the return value of 7 in a variable, it is just printed to the console. In either case, the method will be evaluated to return a value, and that value will then be used to complete the expression. Note that if you simply call this method without storing or using the return value, the method still evaluates, but nothing can be done with the return value. And if you define the method as a void method but include a return statement, you'll get an error message when you try to run the program. Let's look at this last example in order to trace the execution of this program. When run, the program starts at this first line, then the second line, assigning the first and second variables the values of 7 and 8 respectively. It then moves on to the next line, where it calls the addNumbers method with the values of the first and second variables as the arguments. At this point, the execution jumps over to the method signature, assigning the parameters the values of 8 and 7. Then the program moves into the method body, executing the expression of a plus b and returning that value of 15 back up here, where it is stored in the variable sum. From here, the program continues on, printing out the value of sum, which is 15. Now it's your turn to put method signatures into practice.